Dear student, a very good morning to one and all. As we know that today we are going to start a new topic of Financial Accounting 2 Advanced. The topic of the day is valuation of goodwill. So today we'll try to elaborate more about that valuation of goodwill. So the topic valuation of goodwill can be classified for your understanding into two parts. One, in the very first part we will discuss what is goodwill, and then in the second part we will try to discuss how the goodwill can be valued, how the goodwill can be calculated, estimated. So let's understand first what is goodwill actually. As we know that goodwill is an intangible assets. Intangible means which cannot be touched. So like we have, based on the nature of the assets, we have two types of assets. One we call tangible assets, another we call intangible assets. Based on the time frame, we call it current assets, that is for less than 1 year, and then fixed assets, that is for more than 1 year. Well, before I discuss what is intangible and tangible assets, let me discuss what exactly assets mean. Well, so assets are items in any company or organization which help to facilitate the business. The purpose of buying assets in any company or organization is to facilitate the business in a very smooth manner. See, for example, today we are in classroom. So in classroom we can see chair, table, AC, board, fan, projector, system. All these equipments are here just to facilitate the smooth classes. Similarly, if there is any stationery shop outside the university, we can see apart from the stationery which has been bought by the owner for the purpose of selling, at the same time that a stationery owner do have in his or her shop like chair, table, almirah, fan, AC. So chair, table, fan, AC, these are the equipment, these are the item which has been bought by a stationery owner, not for the purpose of selling, but for the purpose of facilitating the smooth conduct of the business. Imagine if there is no almirah, imagine there is no chair where the owner will sit. Imagine there is no table where they will display it to you, to the customer. So similarly, these are the item which has been bought for the purpose of smooth conducting the classes or smooth running the business, facilitating the business. We call it assets, not for the purpose of selling. The item which has been bought for the purpose of selling, we call it the stock. So that is one thing is clear. So as I told that there are two types of assets mostly company will have based on the nature. One we call that tangible assets, another we call intangible assets. So tangible assets which can be touched. See, for example, can we touch chair? Of course we can. I can touch AC and I can say, here is the AC. Here is the fan, here is the blackboard. These are the tangible assets which can be touched and feel. But at the same time, in organization, in large company, there are something called intangible assets like trademarks, patent right, and goodwill is one among them. So goodwill is an intangible assets which cannot be touched. So now the question, I hope you understand what is actually assets. Now we will try to discuss that how the concept of goodwill arises. How come? Because of course we know very well goodwill is an intangible asset. It cannot be touched, it cannot be held, it cannot be feel. You can't go outside the university and ask to any shopkeeper, can you take 10,000 and give me one goodwill? Of course not at all. But yes, you can go outside, you can pay 10,000 and you can ask the furniture wala to kindly give me 2-3 chairs, and that can be possible. But there is no as such shop where possibly you will be able to buy the goodwill from any shop. Well, so let's understand what exactly the goodwill, how the intangible goodwill, intangible assets arises in any company. See, for example, as we know very well that there is one restaurant called Shahgaus Restaurant in the Gachibowli area. It has a name fame, it has a brand value, and the people from 30 kilometer, 40 kilometer, 50 kilometer, they travel just to have a biryani over there, just to have food, just to taste the food of the Shahgaus, because it's well known. Okay. Now, so of course, one thing is very sure that this brand image, this customer loyalty is not, they have not drive within a night or within a few days. Of course, from the long back, they are maintaining the high quality. They are consistently providing the very tasty food, hygiene, and then services to the customers. That's why people are very much loyal. People trust on that particular restaurant. So I will just give one example. See, for example, that Shahgauss restaurant's owner wanted to sell out his entire outlet, his entire setup. So maybe the party, maybe XYZ Limited, he or she is interested to buy that entire Shahgauss setup in the Gachibowli. So both of them decided to do one thing. We will evaluate the total cost, total price of that entire setup which we have in Shahgauss restaurant. Or in fact, or in another way we can call it that entire assets, the price of total assets. So what happened, they have appointed a middleman, and that middleman has actually calculated the value of land, value of building, value of kitchen item, kitchen setup, value of furnitures, and everything actually. Whatever assets that Shahgauss restaurant acquire, that middleman has calculated that price of everything based on the market value, including a single spoon, including a value of the tissue paper. Everything is being calculated. Now the middleman is telling that total value of Shahgauss restaurant is today, as of now, is 50 crore. Okay. Now what happened? The owner of the Shahgauss is telling to the XYZ Limited, we are ready to sell out our complete setup to you at 70 crore. How much is the total cost of each and everything, including spoon and tissue paper? Total 50 crore. But how much the owner of the Shahgauss is asking? 70 crore. It means 20 crore extra. That 20 crore is actually a goodwill that owner of the Shahgauss is asking. So the next question arises from the XYZ Limited, why are you asking 20 crore extra? Then the Shahgauss owner is telling, that is actually my goodwill. From the last 20 years, we are consistently maintaining the quality. We are actually consistently providing a very tasty food to our customer. We are maintaining hygienic. We are providing proper services to our customer. And as of now, today, people travel 30, 40 kilometers. Even from that other city, people come here just to have our biryani, just to have our foods. So now the XYZ Limited is asking to the Shahgauss owner, why it's 20 crore? Understand that from the last 20 years, you have been serving the quality, you have been maintaining the hygiene, and you have provided a very good taste to the customer. That's why the brand image, the brand loyalty, the customer loyalty across the country, not only in the state, but across the country, you have. But why are you asking 20 crore? Why not 25 crore? Why not 30 crore? Or why not 10 crore actually? Then that the owner of Shahgauss is telling that I have some mechanism, I have some method to calculate the goodwill. And then this is what exactly the second part I was telling, that once the concept of, in the first part, the concept of goodwill, in the second phase, that how to calculate, how to value, how to estimate the goodwill, that actually come in the second part. So now so of course the XYZ is asking that what is the rationality that you have arrived at 20 crore? Why not 22 crore? Why not 18 crore? So what happened now so there are four mechanisms, four methods to calculate the value of goodwill that in any organization. So first of all is that, but before that I will tell you, first of all is that there is something called super profit method. Second, weighted average method. Third, average method. Fourth, capitalization method. So let's discuss very briefly about what is super profit method. In super profit method, that the XYZ Limited is tell me what is your profit from the last 5 or 10 years. Tell me whether you are, because of that kind of the goodwill which you have among the people, brand image among the people, whether you are earning more than the normal profit or not. So the super profit is something where you are earning more than the expected or more than the normal profit. See, for example, it is expected from any restaurant in the Shahgauz, similar kind of restaurant setup, every year that company will earn hardly 50 lakh profit. That we call normal profit is being expected 50 lakh. But the Shahgauz is earning 80 lakh every year. It means the 30 lakh, which is being more than extra 30 lakh, which is being earned by the Shahgauz restaurant, that actually we call it that super profit. Or in another way, you can very easily understand. Let's see, for example, I was expecting from Sai Reddy that he will get the 60 marks normally. He was also expecting that I will be able to secure only 60 marks in end semester exam. But when the results came, I saw that he has secured 80 marks. So that the 20 marks, which is beyond the normal, you can call it the super marks. Similarly, it happened in the company that if any company which actually earn more than the normal profit, that extra money, we call it that super profit.